It's snowing, it's sub-zero, so there's only one thing to do. Today we're going hiking.
Hey there, I'm Sarah and this is Marek. After saving up for years, we finally set off to fulfill our travel dreams. But there's a catch. We have a budget. So the better we budget, the longer we get to travel. We started off in England showing Marek around the city where I was born. Then we spent 3 months in a small mountain village in the French Alps enjoying the snowy winter paradise. And now we're exploring our next country, Poland. Subscribe to follow our journey around the world. So another really great thing about our Workaway is that we are literally staying 300 meters away from the entrance to a national park, and that's where we'll be hiking today. It only costs about 7 zloty each for a full day of hiking.
So we'll put the full breakdown of expenses for this video, just like we do in each video, at the end of this video.
And we also picked up these really nifty things in France that we'll be using on the trails to give us a little bit of extra grip today.
So we don't really know what to call them, but we were actually using it in France as well, not just for hiking, but whenever we went trail running out in the mountains, and they worked really, really well. So we're in the Dolina Koscieliska valley, which forms part of the Tatrzanka Park. So what's pretty cool about this valley is that this is not the only valley. So just over the mountains behind me there, you'll have the Dolina Koscieliska, and just behind the mountain on that side, you'll have another valley. And something that's very characteristic about this valley in particular is, as you can see, it looks like lots of the trees have been chopped down. What actually happened here is that in 2013, a massive windstorm blew through this region and just blew down all of the trees. There was wind damage, not only the trees, but the buildings in town. People's roofs were literally getting blown over. And you can still see, even though it's 8 years later, the park is still feeling the effects of that major windstorm.
To get out of bed this morning. I'm not ready for the cold. After 5 months of being in really cold countries, you'd think we'd be used to getting ourselves up and going in the cold weather. It's still as hard as the first time, but we know that it feels so good to be out in nature and to be active, so we're happy that we got going today. Interesting fact, the water in these rivers is actually used to supply water to the houses and businesses around this area. So obviously our Workaway, which is right around the corner, uses this water. We've come off the main path and we're walking on a smaller path now. It's beautiful. There's these massive cliff faces on either side, loads of snow everywhere, and it's stunning. But we've been warned to be really quiet because if we're too loud, we can actually cause an avalanche. It is crazy quiet in here, guys. This is what it sounds like when we stop talking.
So just in terms of the path itself, it is really easy. Like we've seen loads of families, including little babies, walking up and down the path the whole day. So you don't need any great level of fitness or skill to be able to enjoy the paths. But if you are looking to really test yourself and test your skills and your fitness, there are different paths that branch off from this main hiking path that take you into different parts of the mountain range.
Listen, Linda. Listen.
So I want to be open and honest with you all. So today started out really fun and really easy, but the snow soon came, and with that it brought very cold temperatures. So it just made recording things and working electronics in the snow incredibly difficult, because when you're recording and you're working the camera, you have to take your gloves off. So it's just a biltong effect from there, and your hands never actually fully warm up after that. So we know that back at our accommodation there's warm food as well as warm rooms waiting for us. So we're going to try to get back as fast as we can. That was intense. This is now a few weeks later, and we've actually already arrived at our next Workaway spot in our next country.
If we're being honest, after we filmed those last few clips, we put our cameras away and literally just got back to our accommodation as fast as we possibly could. And we didn't even think about filming again. We were just a bit traumatized because we were really ill-equipped. We didn't have the right equipment, and we got wet and cold really quickly and really struggled, and then we still had to get all the way back to our accommodation.
But taking all of that out of the equation, it really was a beautiful hike. I mean, just walking through that valley with these towering mountains on either side of you, and you're walking through this wintry, snowy forest with also a river running alongside of you. And it's just so scenic, and it's just such an experience to be there. And we highly suggest that if you ever do find yourself in that region, that you should go and try that hike for yourself sometime. But just make sure that you wear the right gear and you take the right equipment with you, so that you can avoid the silly mistakes as these two hikers made.
Let us know in the comments if you've ever had interesting experiences to do with the weather. We'd love to hear about misadventures.
And smack that like button if you enjoyed watching these two silly hikers try and navigate our way through the snowy conditions in those sub-zero temperatures.
Also subscribe so you can join us for our adventures in Poland, as well as our adventures in this next country and all the countries we plan on going to in the future. Stay tuned for next week's video, where we'll be showing you exactly where we've been staying in Poland at our Workaway. And of course, we'll see you guys back this coming Tuesday.